Okay, it is now that time of the year again. Time for another round of Nostalgia Talk Christmas Bonus. This is the fourth time I have done this series, and for those of you who are new here, every year I look back on a few relatively obscure and nostalgic Christmas-related projects. There's so much to say about classics like Elf, The Grinch, and Rudolph, but many of us have our favorites from when we were kids. So to kick it off for this year, I'm looking back on Toy Story That Time Forgot. This was the second of two holiday-themed TV specials that aired on ABC between Toy Story 3 and 4. For Halloween, I look back on Toy Story of Terror, and because the Toy Story franchise is among some of my very favorite films, I decided to look back on this one. This special takes place after Christmas Day, with Bonnie playing with her toys imagining her own Christmas fantasy, with Woody in the role of Santa Claus and Trixie as a reindeer. Or rain dinosaur? Can that be a thing? When we first met Bonnie in Toy Story 3, we learned that she has quite the imagination, having her toys play the roles of different characters. As we see here, Bonnie continues to change the setting her toys are in, with her using Woody as a sheriff looking for an escaped dinosaur, making Trixie very happy to finally be getting to play an actual dinosaur. Mr. Pricklepants, of course, being a Shakespearean actor type character, gives Trixie some advice just as Bonnie uses a plush angel cat ornament on her Christmas tree to play the part of the dinosaur instead. Just then, her mother calls her to get ready for her playdate with her friend Mason. I love Bonnie's backpack. Notice how it's basically modeled after the box that Buzz Lightyear came in from the first Toy Story? Wonder if that's available at the Buzz Lightyear aisle at Al's Toy Barn. When Bonnie takes off to get ready, the toys praise Angel Kitty for her performance as a dinosaur, even though it was cut short, making Trixie feel somewhat left out. Jessie and Rex assure her that she'll be played with as a dinosaur one day, with Mr. Potato Head remembering also being played with as a dinosaur by Andy. Just then, Bonnie returns to bring some toys to share with Mason. But when she gets to Mason's house, she learns that Mason is only interested in playing his video game and invites her to join him as she tosses her bag into Mason's room as the toys crash, literally because it's shaped like a spaceship, into some kind of bridge setup. It seems that the toys are regular at Mason's as they wonder where his own toys are, but then Trixie spots that Mason got a large battlesaurs playset for Christmas. Buzz comments, "Mason really hit the jackpot this Christmas. Nobody's this good." Rex is both excited and panic-stricken about making friends with new dinosaur toys, as Trixie follows a tiny dinosaur toy to what looks like some kind of ancient Roman fighting set, with the rest of the toys making their way there not too long after, but it appears to be empty until Trixie asks if anyone is there, setting off an alarm that signals a group of dinosaur gladiators who corner the toy gang. Trixie instantly plays along with them as a dinosaur action figure named Reptilus Maximus introduces himself to the gang, as he and Trixie seem to enjoy getting to know each other. Just then, the battlesaurs leader, the Cleric, arrives and asks for Woody, Buzz, Rex, and Trixie to leave, but Reptilus convinces Cleric to let them stay as long as they are armored. Trixie and Rex join Mason's dinosaurs as Woody and Buzz are taken prisoner. After Rex and Trixie are dressed for battle, with Rex now having longer arms, Trixie and Reptilus seem to be getting along, but Reptilus finds Trixie's talk about playtime confusing. Still finding Trixie suspicious, the Cleric officially calls for the battle to begin. Fun fact, the voice of the Cleric is Steve Purcell, the director and writer of this special. Steve is best known for creating the Sam & Max franchise, and at Pixar was co-director and co-writer of Brave, and contributed very heavily to Cars. And the voice of Reptilus Maximus is Kevin McKidd, who voiced Lord MacGuffin in Brave. Anyway, carrying on, the fight is called as Reptilus, Trixie, and Rex are brought to the arena as several of Mason's toys, I'm assuming, I've never seen Mason before this, and Trixie seems to know who everyone is, are brought in for battle, seeming very anxious. Just then, Reptilus knocks a little people figure out of the arena and decapitates a little penguin toy. Poor guy. Wow, this is really morbid for Toy Story. And with the dinosaurs in the crowd, it's like they caught a foul ball at a baseball game. Mason's sock monkey, however, doesn't seem to be scared at all, but Reptilus throws him out of the ring as he is eaten by small dinosaurs. Suddenly, Buzz and Woody escape to warn Trixie that the battlesaurs have no idea that they're toys and haven't been played with yet, much like in the case of when we meet Buzz in the first Toy Story. So is this common in the toy world? Because in Toy Story 2, we meet another Buzz Lightyear action figure who likewise also doesn't realize that he's a toy, and he kind of pushes the whole real Space Ranger thing a bit farther than Buzz did in the first film. Even Emperor Zurg, that whole scene with him fighting Buzz in the elevator like they're actually at war, and I see that the Cleric is no better. He signals Reptilus to kill Woody and Buzz, but all Woody has to defend himself is a crayon, which breaks in two when Reptilus begins to fight. Luckily, Woody is flexible enough to duck Reptilus's swings as Woody and Buzz team up against Reptilus together. Before he can strike, Trixie shows up to defend them, calling Reptilus a bully, using her horn to throw Reptilus almost out of the ring. Angered, Cleric calls for the Goliathon, a very large dinosaur toy who swallows Buzz and Woody whole. Trixie demands that Goliathon cough them up, but Goliathon knocks her out, revealing Bonnie's name on her foot to Reptilus, who feels betrayed as Cleric considers her an enemy. Enemy? Bonnie and Mason are friends. Using some kind of a remote control, Cleric controls Rex's arms and legs to attack Trixie as she runs off, and Cleric sends Reptilus to follow her. Although it's nice to know that Buzz and Woody appear unharmed. While chasing Trixie, Reptilus comes across an image of himself on the playset box, with him being held by a kid. This angers him even more, but the Cleric spots Bonnie and Mason continuing with their video games, as he sends for Rex to free Buzz and Woody from Goliathon. As it turns out, Cleric does know that he is a toy, but since Mason is only interested in his video game instead of the battlesaurs, he is happy to rule the playroom like a dictator, sending Buzz, Woody, and Angel Kitty to the pit, really just Mason's air vent, by Rex. This guy reminds me of Lotso from Toy Story 3. Trixie successfully makes it to the TV room to shut down the video game, and if you look closely at the pictures on the wall, you'll notice that they're references to 3, at the time, upcoming Pixar films. The one with the colored swirls refers to Inside Out, the one with the nuts and bolts is a reference to Cars 3, and the one with the flowers is an allusion to Coco. Anyway, I'm being too much of a nerd. Again, I'm a Pixar kid, but carrying on, as Trixie makes her way through the wires, the pieces of her battle outfit are pulled off, and before she can turn off the game, Reptilus tries to stop her, but Trixie convinces him that it's Mason who chooses what he can be with his own imagination. Reptilus gives in and shuts off Mason's game. Mason reaches in to try to turn it back on, but picks up Reptilus instead. Mason isn't sure what to do, and when Bonnie starts playing with Reptilus, he turns his video game back on, but then decides to join Bonnie. However, back in the Battlesaurs world, before Cleric can have Rex drop Buzz and Woody into the air vent, Mason and Bonnie come in to play with the Battlesaurs themselves, with Trixie even prepared to play the role of a baby reindeer again. After a fun day of play for Reptilus and Trixie, Bonnie's mom and Mason's dad have already scheduled yet another playdate for Bonnie and Mason as the toys return home and share their stories with the rest of the toy crew, with Angel Kitty finishing off with, "Be grateful for your gifts. They are all around you." So this is kind of similar to what we've heard Toy Story 5 is apparently going to be about. Apparently the plot will revolve around the toys competing with Bonnie's interest in technology and electronics over her toys, in addition to an army of 50 rogue Buzz Lightyear action figures, and that isn't too unlike the Battlesaurs. And will we see Mason in it as well? Who knows? But anyway, I hope you enjoyed looking back on Toy Story That Time Forgot with me, and I'll see you with the next 3 Nostalgia Talk Christmas bonus videos. Hope you guys are having a great day.